We want you to hear your most controversial thoughts on AI that may not be mainstream. And Marlon's hot take was that, hey, your managers don't know what they're doing in AI. So you may need to do your research and lean into being an entrepreneur, right? And taking advantage of that gap of opportunity that you can add value to your company. So thank you, Marlon, for that hot take. I'm going to start with the hot takes and I'm going to pass it around. So looking forward to Taylor and Liz jumping on this conversation as well. So my hot take is that AI and Web3 is digital reparations for the Black community. And why do I say that? I say that because with Web3, we have crypto, we have blockchain, we have smart contracts, we have AI, and we talk about 40 acres and a mule. But if we understand the power of Bitcoin mining, and real quick, you can actually mine Bitcoin at your home on smaller servers, on existing devices, even on your phone. I have an app that's mining Bitcoin as we speak on my phone. And so that's an opportunity for us to get residual income. But the thing about it, if we capture this opportunity now, Bitcoin is going to grow, Ethereum is going to grow, and other tokens are going to grow. So that means that we'll be able to reap rewards that our ancestors left behind, or that was taken from them, rather. If you look at the advance of blockchain and smart contracts, you have a smart contract that can actually put people together that don't know each other, that are not on the same page. And before you know it, a smart contract manages that relationship. So I don't have to trust you. I don't have to know you because everything we do is operated in a smart contract. So again, my hot take is that AI and Web3 is digital reparations for the Black community only if we take advantage right now. Microphone, who's next? Who want to jump on the hot takes?
Hey, okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Taylor, you got the mic.
Okay. So there's a saying, what good is it for a man to gain the world but lose his soul? And in my opinion, AI is pushing us towards losing the soul. There are so many children and adults who can't even have open conversations with each other. They got to rely on ChatGPT to get them a response to the other person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's very relevant. We are losing our soul as people. And then how do you tell your neighbors who have to live next to AI data centers you're okay with their lungs being polluted? I've been to Memphis. I've seen the data centers and I've seen how they're putting particulate matter into the air. And they have increased children's emergency room admittance for asthma conditions in Memphis right now due to XAI's data center there. And then they're trying to build another one. So to me, it's just like, I understand that AI can be used to advance us in many ways, but at the same time, I'm not going to look at my neighbor and say, it's okay for me to put this hyperscale data center in your backyard and pollute your drinking water and pollute your air, where I wouldn't have to live with that. So for me, when I'm looking at Landover specifically in my community in Prince George's County, we just had a deal with Colin Kaepernick done with the Prince George's County Public School System
Yes,
to
I
use
saw that.
Lumi. Yes, so they're using a system called Lumi. And I appreciate that. I'm glad that Kaepernick stepped in and he's helping the children in our communities to be able to storytell because storytelling is very important and vital. But less than 10 miles away would be an AI data center at the Landover Mall site, and those children would be dealing with the implications of their data center. So I just think we need to weigh all sides of the coin. I think we can't just say, let's go forward with these hyperscale data centers because it's going to make us trillions of dollars. When we
Okay.
know that the Black and brown communities aren't going to benefit from the trillions of dollars as much as the white communities.
All
So
right.
I just want us to look at everything.
All right. Thank you. So hot take is going to be a quick blur. Thank you. That's powerful. Everything you said can be supported, documented. I've seen some of those outcomes. Next hot take button. Next person.
I'll go. I was just gonna go there and say that ultimately AI might be a tool of white supremacy, but I won't go there
You said it
quite.
already. It's on the record. Keep going.
I think that we are living at a time when if you go over to X, formerly known as Twitter, right now, you can see CSAM material that has been produced by Grok, right? And this is someone who has been given a contract with the U.S. Department of Defense. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not anti technology at all. I met my husband on Instagram. Okay, we are talking remotely through the. I work in a remote office. I am absolutely 100% not against technology. I'm all for it. Okay, that kind of stuff is concerning. And like Dr. Tressie McMillan Cotton says, oftentimes in discussions about artificial intelligence, why? Why? Why do we actually have to do things this way? But as a reporter, I would say that AI does not threaten journalism as much as the refusal to invest in journalism does. Okay? You need people in my newsroom, for example. It used to be that you would have enough people in your newsroom that you could sit with someone and brainstorm the headlines, okay, for the story. And you might actually come up with something that was a little bit punny or a little bit different or that you weren't even thinking about at all, right? But when you're using a large language model, that's a different experience. You can still come up with a good headline if you prompt it enough, right? But it takes a little bit more time. But I think that there's just this thing of how many people knew that the photos, some of those photos of Nicolas Maduro being taken from Venezuela were deep fakes.
Hmm.
Not a whole lot of people did. And so I think that this is going to actually raise the stakes for why we need to invest in our newsrooms. As Black folks, we are used to the media lying back and forth, up and down about us, right? You have folks over on X asking Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true? Does Grok know? Really? So if Grok says it's true about Black folks, does that mean that that's the law? Right? So I think we have to be very careful about how much power. There was just a video the other day about a guy who was filming himself asking ChatGPT how to spell the word committee. And he says, so it's misspelled it with three T's. And he says, no, it has two T's. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Then he messed with it. He said, actually, no, committee has three T's. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. So this
Yeah.
is the thing. You need stuff
Hmm.
to verify. And this is where I think the education piece comes in. People need to be trained, but these deep fakes are so good that even folks who work in photography cannot tell. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's actually going to make it more clear why you need trained journalists, why you need newsrooms, why you need someone who is going to go sit in the barbershop and listen to the conversations because the AI can't tell you what the Black folks in the barbershop are saying. But I bet
Mm.
you one things for certain and two things for sure, the folks at the Washington Informer can.
Hey, there
Right?
you go. Beautiful plug. Beautiful plug. Shout out to the Washington Informer and Greater Washington Black Chamber for hosting this event today. So, next hot take. I want to get all the hot takes. I want all the juice, all the sauce, all the tea. So we have, I think, Sydney's up next, and then we have Eric.
I'll get one
Yes.
more too.
Okay, my hot take. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Sydney. Go ahead, Sydney.
Um, okay. My hot take builds off of what Liz was just saying. I think that okay, so going off of the statistic that you mentioned about like I think you said 89% of college students, using AI. I think the danger in AI comes from being reliant on it to do your critical thinking or do your writing for you. And frankly, I think it's unfair that some of us are actually, doing the actual work and doing the training to, become a better writer or something. And we're also paying to be here just to have like AI do our work for us. So I think that you should have to, and it also, there comes with a caveat and like who makes the test and like who passes it, of course, and like what the training and resources
Mhm.
are. But I think you should have to pass some sort of test or certification to get access to using AI because then you will know that
Mm.
like you have the skills, but then you're using it as a tool just to build on like your existing skill set. And that kind of makes you like worthy of accessing that privilege rather than just relying on it to do your stuff for you.
That's juicy. Okay, Sydney. Okay, okay, we got some heat in here. Okay, Marlon. I think Eric and then Marlon.
Okay, yeah. What comes to mind is that there are lots of promises about what could potentially happen with AI as far as benefiting the community. But I think my hot take is that AI on its own is not going to close the equity gap. It really takes
Mm.
intentional design, and without that intentional design and people, human intelligence being able to advocate, AI can scale inequities that already exist.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Marlon, you can close it. You started us up. You can close us out.
Facts. I got you. All right. I can't say which one of my companies are already working on this, but I'll say this: I've been very good at predicting what's happening next, and I've been very bad at predicting when. But what would happen is you will be handed on your next job, you'll be handed your badge, your computer, and your AI assistant to do your role. By the way, the next interview and stuff you're probably to have, the first interview would be with an AI voice agent. Probably the second and third too as well. Everything going back to what Howard said, man, what a technology, what an opportunity if you can start to build your own AI agent on the blockchain to take with you job to job to job to job,
Mm.
and having your own knowledge source. Close out.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And again, can you? I want you to expound a little bit, Marlon, because again, I'm a teacher. Tell us why the AI agent that travels with you from industry to industry is so critical, but so powerful. Because we never had that concept, right? We talk about institutional learning and knowledge based learning and things like that, but Man, go into that, brother.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I think what's going to happen is that companies are going to start to develop their own AI agents in departments, teams, individuals, and everything, which is fine, which is, I understand everything. But once you leave that role, that agent stays there. Now, what an opportunity! And if you can build your own agent, and then you can take with you and give the company access to, as you're doing your work via LLM and stuff, where it may be. Now, watch this. What if you leave, you decide to go for another job, but the company says like, "Hey, we actually need some more work done." Fine, I'll assign you guys my AI agent. Get paid per call.
Ooh.
That's a bar. Listen, y'all. Listen. So again, if you don't know what AI agents is and want to understand AI agents, I'm gonna just point to Marlon and Eric. They're doing amazing work in the community. Again, I literally work side by side with Eric, and we have an event coming up where we're training businesses in AI, called AI Vibes on January the 27th. You can go to our Instagram and check it out. So wow, that is a powerful statement. And I think we do need to be very knowledgeable and curious onto how some unique ways that we can look at using AI agents. An AI agent is something that actually works in the background and is based off either your knowledge or data that you feed into it. So imagine having a clone of yourself that's able to actually do tasks and get things accomplished. That's exactly what an AI agent is. I'm gonna throw something else in the mix, and Eric, and he knows me good for this. Uh, how do you use AI in a really interesting way that has changed how you work? And tell us the platform you use to do that work. I know I threw it on the spot, so I'll go first to give my panelists a moment to think about that really quickly. But for me, and this is actually a spoiler alert, I actually have created an AI agent or a protocol in ChatGPT and Claude that actually sources grants not just for you, but it sources grants based on if you have a teaming partner, if you're applying for a grant as a prime or a sub, based on your region, based on years in business, a lot of different factors. And I'm going to show you all how to develop that right after this call, after this panel discussion. And so that's how I use AI. As I understand that a lot of businesses are struggling with funding, but if they understood that, hey, a lot of money is left on the table from grants, and you can use grants to grow your business infrastructure wise, to prepare you for exponential growth in the public and the private marketplace. And so, going back to the same question, the question is, how has AI, give me a protocol or a use case in the ways you use an AI to transform how you work, and tell us the platform you use so you can point us to that same solution.
Yeah, I
Hey,
kick us off.
Copilot.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead,
The,
Eric.
co- the
You're ready to
Copilot.
demo. Mhm.
Let's see. Hold up one moment. Well, ultimately, I leverage Copilot. I think there's so many different types of conversational AI. I think that for me, just being able to have a conversation to the point of having that historic conversation is key. Copilot consumer has the ability to also see the world, and so if I go to a place, if I'm looking at something, Copilot can see that and give me context. And so I think that just being able to talk to AI is something that has transformed my workflow. And whether it is, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, et cetera, they're all adding the modality of leveraging voice so that you can have a real time conversation that could be multiple minutes long and being able to have that context. So a lot of times people have a challenge with prompting, but I encourage you, and I think something that I've really had some gains on is just having a conversation with your AI.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Anyone else want to give one? You don't all have to, but if you have something to add to kind of give us more experience and awareness, please share. And now we'll go on to the next one. But anyone else want to pop in?
I'll pop in. I definitely think that there's a myth that journalists are using ChatGPT to write stories, and every once in a while you see that out there where there's some mistake that's caught because some random newspaper did that or whatnot, and they didn't get it right. But I don't think that that's actually what journalists are doing for the most part. Not saying that that doesn't happen, but I think instead what you might find within journalism is that people are using it to analyze data sets. Again, you can
So
use
true.
it for your headlines, for generating social copy, but none of this stuff you have to have someone review it. Like, for example, we know that SEO has been important for a long time with the advent of AI that's changing a little bit, in digital media, but that's search engine optimization for folks that don't know. So I might be able to ask Gemini, for example, or ChatGPT, can you analyze these three headlines that I thought of and tell me which one has the highest SEO that's going to be most searchable, or most people are going to, find that out there on the internet? Because I don't want my reporters' content, they're reporting their articles to, be the forest that falls in the tree that no one knows it, right? So
Mm-hmm,
that's
mm-hmm.
a possibility to do that. There's other tools that are out there too that are on, sometimes people don't realize that they're using AI when they are. Like if there's a couple of sites that you can just pop the headline in there and it'll analyze it for like the sentiment. Is it negative? Is it positive? Like that sort of stuff. That is AI, and folks might not necessarily know that. If you're using, spell check is an early form of artificial intelligence in a lot of ways, and people don't realize that. I think, I've seen reporters use, Gemini or ChatGPT. They'll say, okay, here are the questions that I was going to ask this source. Is there anything that I'm missing that, given what you can, tell from, what's on the web or whatnot on this particular topic, that I should ask? Now, here's the thing. Again, we forget the human touch with stuff. That used to be stuff that you could ask your editor, right? But now with the shrinking of newsrooms and the defunding of newsrooms, that's the thing of it. I used to be a teacher. I taught in Compton, California, CPT, love it all day, every day. I know that education is about a relationship. Journalism is also about relationships. And so there used to be, I don't know if you all remember this back in the day, there was this whole thing about a video about a box around education that you put the kids in front of it and they would just learn, right? But then they found out it actually didn't work, that you needed the people to guide them. And I think it's the same thing with AI. Whatever it is that we're doing, we have to remember that people have to be involved, because otherwise it's like those cold deep fakes. You like the bunnies jumping on the trampoline, but then you're like, is this real? I like your cat
Okay.
video.
All right. Yeah, that cat video is going viral. Uh, Marlon, I know you was going to start us before we pass it to Eric. Do you want to hop in there and give us a use case and a protocol how to use AI?
You said me or Eric?
Marlon.
Oh,
Yeah, Eric went already. Yes, Marlon.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll start off on the developer side and I go some top level.
And
So
also, you're gonna close out this part of the conversation, and we're gonna have a 1 minute for everyone to share who they are and how to get in contact with them. So you're gonna have the final talking point about this topic.
well, let's do this one then. Howard, keep yourself unmuted. Yeah, go ahead. My Wi-Fi. All right. So basically, I made a phone assistant in ChatGPT. That will place calls on my behalf. And so what I'm gonna do, I need to just give it a prompt and I say like, hey, can you do me a favor and call Howard to see when he's available for lunch next week? I want burgers. I'm available Thursday. Let me know when his earliest convenience is, and let him know that I'm in DC and everything. And so I made that in ChatGPT with it's a custom GPT that you use as a custom script that is connected to Blend .ai. So if you guys shoot me a DM and everything, I can kind of give you a video walk through it. But think about that process of like using that as an assistant, using that as, just, to help make phone calls and everything for your business, for your family, for your staff and everything, whatever it may be, anything. And I built that probably like 2 years ago, on that element.
Wow, wow. Well, I know Eric. I know his mind is spinning because Eric he does it. He has a
We
similar
got
function.
collab,
He was
man. I
trying to show
got a
you
few
all
things
that.
too there. So we got to talk offline
Yeah,
on that. I definitely think that's the wave as far as conversational AI.
yeah, yeah. So, audience members, first of all, we got some amazing feedback in the chat, y'all. Like, we have 90, I think I saw 92 notifications, and we have some amazing stakeholders in the conversation. So, we're going to open up for conversation for those in the chat. I know we have a moderator and a producer. So, is there any way you can scan those questions? Do we have the capacity to do that? And so I see Arnold wants to connect with Eric, so he dropped his email in there for Eric. I'm looking for questions in the chat, so I do want to give our chat an opportunity um, to respond. And so our producer, I know Jada was there a moment ago. Do you have those questions? Because I'm seeing some of these questions in the chat.
Wait, can you put
Um,
that one back? That
but
was a
how
great
about
point.
this? If you're in the chat, can you throw your questions in there? as we start to go around the circle, and we'll take a moment. If you post a question in there, we'll address it. But we are going to start to wrap up because we have a session after this. But yeah, so we can go around the table. Sydney, since you're the student, the youngest, and they say the prettiest first. So we'll let Sydney go, and then we'll go around the room and just close out. Maybe just 30 seconds on again who you are, what you're working on, and how can we contact with you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm a third year student at Howard University. I'm studying journalism and environmental studies, hoping to be an environmental reporter. I'm the editor in chief of The Hilltop. So if you guys have any like pitches or story ideas, things that you're working on, we're always happy to highlight, Black successes or things that are going on in the community. Definitely read our work. That helps us out a lot. Follow us on Instagram at The Hilltop HU, and I'll put that in the chat as well. And I'll put my email in my LinkedIn if you guys ever want to reach out. I'm always looking for ways to connect and just opportunities to build on my portfolio. So thank you for having me so much today. I really appreciate it.
A wonderful job, and shout out to you representing the HBCUs. I'm an alum of HBCU, so you made me very proud. So thank you very much,
Aw,
Sydney.
thank
All right, next, please, next we'll go around the table and can keep it moving.
All right. Again, I'm Taylor Frazier McCollum, and you can follow me on Instagram at TayloredFM, TayloredFM. And we'll be hosting a meeting this Saturday at Bladensburg Library in Bladensburg, Maryland from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. to brainstorm ideas on how we can move forward with the No Land Over Data Center movement. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you guys so much.
And thank you, Taylor, for being the person in the room to really empower us on the implications, because we don't hear this conversation a lot, Taylor. And I'm in Eric and I, and I'm sure Marlon is in a lot of rooms, and we don't hear those conversations. So we should definitely be aware as we be developed. So thank you for adding that's an invaluable aspect to this conversation. All right, next up, we got Liz, Marlon, and I think Eric is left.
I'll go. So I'm Liz, as you all know, Managing Director of Word and Black. I've been there since 2022. We are Black America's Digital Daily. And also we have a research lab. We have a research report actually just certainly coming out about organ donation in just a couple of days. And we are also NAACP Award nominated. They had their very first ever journalism awards. And so February 28th, we'll find out. You can reach us at Word and Black News on all platforms. And if you want to come and holler at me, you can always send me an email if you work in the space and you want to write an op-ed for this. I'm liz.cl at wordandblack.com. And if you just want to, chat with me personally, I'm Los Angelista XOXO on other platforms. So, but it's been a real pleasure to be here and engaged in this. And thank you again to the Washington Informer, who is one of our partner papers at Word and Black.
All right, thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. Up next.
Yeah, Marlon Avery. I am Marlon Avery on all platforms, so you can reach out to me there. So I'm Vice President of Applied AI at JP Morgan. Also run a company called AI Impact, where we do workforce training around AI implementation. And so if any of your staff, organizations, schools feel like you guys need to get a better understanding of AI, feel free to reach out to me. And also to I run a company called VoicePath, where we build AI voice solutions for small businesses.
All right, thank you, Marlon. I'm looking forward to getting that lunch with you, because you didn't finish inviting me, but I'm looking forward to getting lunch with you.
Well, I'm here now. I live here in DMV.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna make that happen, man.
I look forward to connecting as well. Eric Brown, excited to be a part of this conversation. This has been very insightful, and I think hopefully you are able to gain something from it. So, technologist, mentor, coach. You can find me on all platforms, Eric Brown Jr. _ I put in the chat my LinkedIn's primary place to get in contact. And in the season, I think it's just time to build. And so whether it's at the enterprise level or startup, small grassroots type of scenarios, I'm happy to reach out and collaborate. I think really it's about building together. And I think that context matters. And I learn just as much from every engagement as I share. And so looking forward to collaborating this year.
All right, thank you. All right, so again, everyone, it's been an honor to monitor this conversation. This is probably one of the best conversations I've had in a while. And Eric and I, we had these panels in person and virtual often. So I just love the way that this is placed together. Shout out to Raj and shout out to Simone for doing the amazing lift behind the scenes and pulling this together. This has been a 2.5 month endeavor, us trying to work on this. So we wanted to give you all your flowers. Thank you to Washington Informer. for allowing me to moderate and represent the Greater Washington Black Chamber of Commerce. And shout out to Aisha Bond for the work that she's doing and leaning into technology and being an advocate. One announcement that Aisha probably left off is that we are actually looking for members for our tech committee for the Greater Washington Black Chamber. I'm currently the chair, and we're looking for a co-chair and also committee members that will help to socialize AI, to support small businesses, and also just think of interesting ways that we as a community should be engaging with AI. Taylor, you will be great to have in that conversation to keep us aware of the other side. One thing that we often do is look at the upside of things, but to have a contrarian in the room to kind of challenge what we're looking at and give a different perspective is always necessary. So if you're interested in joining the Greater Washington Black Chamber, or even not joining the chamber, but just being on the tech committee without a member title, feel free to follow Greater Washington Black Chamber. They have the information in the bio, how to contact them. And so I think I'll turn it back to our moderator before we go to the next session. Again, shout out to the panel, one of the best. Yeah, happy 2026.